Hey guys, I'm back with another video and it's kind of late, but let's talk about patch 4.07. So, first, new legend, Mako, I think that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, he's a shark and so far he looked really cool. I really liked him. What I really liked especially was how whenever he neutral sigs, um, you can see he's kind of like a shark that his fins are swirling around or something like that around the water. So yeah, that looked really cool. Okay, then we have vote. Don't forget to vote, guys, if you guys can. And then here was the best thing about the patch. Brawlhalla actually listened to my video. Probably not really, okay. But yeah. So if you watched my Val Pass Season 2 review, I was talking about how they should make a patch so that the progression skin you can choose which one you actually want. So they actually did it. Props to BMG. Really good. Uh, New free for all map. Post game theme music. It's okay. Um, One thing I hope they actually do is do the same for the first battle pass, because right now you can't change. You still can't change what Petra looks like, or like the third level at least. You can only have it as third, or at the most you did. So new missions. Then we have the emote goes well. Okay, so I'll just some balance changes. I'll briefly talk about them, and if they're important, then I'll talk about them even more. So you have axe sidelight recovery time on miss. They increased it by 1, the fixed by 1, and the stun change from 31 to a range of 31 to 26. So not really that much change here. Axe side air increased recovery time on miss from 0 to 2. I mean they already increased this one, if I'm not mistaken, last patch, but I guess they're just making sure that if you miss, it's easier to punish. Axe ground pound, decreased threat coverage during the charge. Really good, I guess. Not really gonna affect me in a way or the community. Blaster sidelight decreased stun. They've been nerfing blasters a lot. Or well, they've been nerfing the sidelight. These are the stun changes. So they decrease the stun again, meaning it's most likely you can't really follow up anymore with the sidelight. More of you have to guess or like predict their move. And then we have the blaster's downlight, decreased damage from 14 to 12. It's okay. Oh, this one we'll talk about. So the cannon sidelight, they slightly decreased maximum vertical threat coverage. So um, they decreased the sidelight when going up, the threat coverage going up. And the setup location is now slightly more vertical, which is pretty weird. So now the sidelight more focuses on going up, I guess, or facing people goes up. And then we have decreased stun, so harder to land combos. And then we have the cannon Sare, angle of knockback slightly more vertical. Nothing. That's fine, I guess. I guess it'll be weird doing combos, but then it shouldn't really change that much. And then we have the cannon there, decreased stun from 20 to 17. This is pretty big, I guess, because then right cannon relies so much on string heavy things. But then I really like that they nerfed cannon because if you read this one, or if you read it at least, it makes sense why they do it, and yeah, I felt like Canon, even though it's been nerfed, uh, it's still a strong weapon. Honestly, they just try to balance it even more. But I guess they didn't really need to do this one though. Calendar stun. Then we have the Great Sword. So they nerfed the Great Sword, but then they also buffed it as well. So the Great Sword side opener changed force from 90 to a range of 80 to 53 fixed. Improper set application, blah blah blah, slightly decreased maximum speed allowed during the hit window. Fixing case that could cause an improper. Just some fixes, nothing really much. Delayed the attack cancel window for stances on miss by 5 frames. This is really big actually, because when you attack cancel and of the when you're doing bridge stances, um basically it takes time for them to continue if they miss. So I really like this one because I felt like Great Sword was a really good weapon wherein even if you missed, you could have just continued the string and then at some point, well, for beginners at least, they would get hit over and over again, which I've seen happen. So it makes it easier to punish if they actually miss their string or their bridge stances. So delay the jump dash cancel window. So same thing. Um, so instead of the attack cancel, they just change the jump cancel. So yeah, they make it easier to punish when Great Sword misses. So down bridge increased stun from 13 to 15. This is fine. Nothing really. Nair remove delay from entering stance when landing after the hit window. This one doesn't. For me, I think this is kind of useless in 1v1s because like if you hit the Nair, they usually send them up, and it doesn't really. It won't. You won't really use the stance, right? So this is only good for me, or it's only good. How I see it is on 2v2s, wherein if you do a nair and then the enemy teammate is going for you on the ground, then you just continue your stance. I guess that's another option, but in 1v1 it shouldn't really do anything, honestly. And then we have Great Sword there. Decrease time before entering stance when landing on miss from 10 to 9. Like nothing changes, didn't really change that much, but then the slight buff to when you do the down there. Hammer increased recovery time on miss from 0 to 2. So this is pretty good. Not good for hammer obviously, but good when facing against hammer because if you've faced a lot of hammer recently, it's usually just they're able to neutralize every time. So like it feels like they don't have a recovery time, right? So you're able to punish a lot with neutralite, and I guess it felt kind of stupid because you know uh it should be able some of their moves should be able to be punished. And then we have the hammer downlight, increase recovery time on miss from 2 to 4 and decrease damage. This one not really gonna change anything for hammer. Even if they took out like 2 points of damage, it didn't really change hammer. So now we move on to Katars. Katars had one of the best buffs in this patch actually. So it's really strong right now. So let's go over it. So Katars sideline increase momentum from movement such as dash. So dash into sideline is reaches further. So greater coverage. And we have Qatar downlight increase stun from range of 20 to 21. So this doesn't really change much, but then it makes it so that you have more consistent follow-ups after the downlight. And then you have Qatar Ser. This one's the really good one they've done to Qatars, which made them really good. So Qatar Ser, they increased the force of from 41 variable to 43 variable, and then they updated the hitbox to cover vertical greater vertical coverage. So it's good. It catches uh reaches rather more vertical opponents. And then we have increased momentum bonus from movements such as dash. So Qatar serve before when doing like dash jump, it doesn't really move you a lot. And now since they've increased the momentum from it, uh you're able to reach further. So it really catches out enemies further from you. So that one's really good, honestly. So Qatar, we're gonna see more Qatars in this patch, and then we have an orb nerf here. So orb there, increase recovery time on miss from 0 to 2 in the aerial version. If you guys don't know what the aerial version is, it's the one when it just goes slant in the air, right? By slant, I mean when instead of hitting the ground, because it goes a slant, right? When it hits the ground, it goes like V. It goes like a V-shaped thing. So yeah, um, increase your over time on miss from 0 to 1 for the ground and wall versions. Seems fair. Rocket Lance, sad kept Rocket Lance users, but got nerfed. So we have Rocket Lance and Light, increased recovery time on miss from 2 to 5. So this one really good because well, it's easier to punish now. The Rocket Lance, and this this will change on how Rocket Lance plays neutral. So then we have Rocket Lance downlight, decreased rear and vertical threat coverage during the initial hit window. So this one, I'm really happy they did this because, to be honest, it was kind of bullshit when you're uh like on top of them. By on top I mean you're literally on them, and when they downlight it still hits for some reason. So when they decrease this, they made it so that it's what it was supposed to be intentionally, because I don't think it was really meant to hit uh on you, because it really felt so weird sometimes. And then we have neutral air, updated hitboxing, uh, flowing in decreased threat coverage near the user and at the rear of the flame trail, but slightly increased outward threat coverage, and then decreased acceleration and maximum speed allowed during the hit window and recovery time on miss. So basically, it makes it easier to punish the Nair now, and you can't really spam Nair anymore as Rocket Lance. But they updated the threat coverage outward, so reaches further a bit, but not really, and it hits less when you're near, so makes sense because it's not really supposed to. Then we have sight neutral light, increased threat coverage at the end of the hit window, so really good for sight users. Able to consistently follow up on end light if they against enemies that dodge a lot. Then we have spear, so spear downlight decreased rear threat coverage during the final strike on hit. So like what they say here, this is really meant so that in doubles you're able to help your partner when he's getting hit by downlight, because sometimes you still get hit by it and when you're trying to help your partner, and that was pretty weird, honestly. Unarmed, they just decreased neutral light, side light, and recovery. Nothing really much. Now let's go for the champions. Just a quick blast through the champions. So Neutral blasters increase hit window, nothing gonna change really. Slightly decrease maximum threat coverage of each blast, yeah, nothing much. Whereas a neutral axe increase recovery time on miss from 15 to 17. I mean, easier to punish, but nothing that much. This one, decreased force from 65 to 60. Decreasing the force of Barasa down blasters was reasonable because sometimes you'd think it wouldn't kill, but then it actually kills. So now we have Caspian. Neutral Katars decrease minimum charge time from 9 to 7. And down Katars decrease minimum charge time from 7 to 15. Decrease recovery time from 28 to 26. So if you guys don't know what the charge time is, it basically means that you're able to hit faster if they decrease it, and if they increase it, then you hit slower. By hit slower, I mean it comes out, you know, slower. So, really good, I guess, for Caspian users. But then I still prefer other, other heroes or legends than Caspian, honestly. We have Fate Side Orb, increased total recovery time on miss from 18 to 23. This one was really good, honestly. So, what happened was, every time Fate uses her side sig in the orb, um, they're able to move through the stage and cover a long distance, and then they're able to do it again right after, almost right after, right? So now it's easier to punish, and it's harder to just keep on spamming side signal on the orb. So thank God they did this one. The down orb minimum charge time increased from 5 to 9. Increased total recovery time on miss from 15 to 20. So Fate people don't really spam this one, not as much as the side orb. But I guess this makes it easier to punish. So Fate got nerfed really hard, or well balanced for the side orb. I don't think they need to do this for the down orb though. Then we have Nash. Down Spirit increased travel speed during the backwards roll, and decreased travel speed during the forward leap. So how I've tested this at least is I look if it was easier to dodge the forward leap, and I guess I'd say it is now, since you don't really attack him when he moves back. It's more of you're able to react more because they decrease the travel speed during the forward leap. So it helps you dodge against the down spear of Nash. Neutral spear updated hitboxing, resulting in less threat coverage at the bottom and near the user. So this one, it's kind of weird for me because I kind of found it weird when it hits at the bottom, when you're at the bottom. So I guess this makes sense as well. But then I feel like Nash is having a hard time already with what's going on, especially with what they're doing with their hitboxing. So Nash Neutral Hammer updated hitboxing, resulting in less threat coverage near the user. So Neutral Hammer, I guess it's a nerf again. So Nash got entirely nerfed here. I'd say it doesn't really change much for Nash, so it just makes it more reasonable, honestly. Then we have Petra, neutral gauntlets, increased total recovery time. So inside gauntlets increased recovery time on miss. So easier to punish. Nothing really much here to talk about. Or inside sphere, decreased priority on the trigger hit box during travel, decreased rear threat coverage of the final swing. So makes it easier to dodge when you're dodging the side spear of Orion. Doesn't really change much, but let's go Rayman, increase travel speed. I'll show it here, but then it didn't really change. And then decrease total recovery time and miss from 19 to 18. So in this patch they tried to buff Rayman, but I feel like it isn't really enough for him to like if they're trying to buff him as much, it's not really gonna change that much because an increase in travel speed. I mean, harder to react, but then you can still see it, right? So, and yeah, Scarlet. Okay, this is the one where I feel bad because like Lance already got nerfed, the weapon itself, and then now we have Scarlet losing all her good sigs. So we have side hammer, decrease threat coverage near the user, and at the top of the arc, so it doesn't really hit at the top now. Increase recovery time from 15 to 17 for the aerial version. So doing the aerial one, easier to punish if you miss, or possibly you can kill yourself with it. And then you have decreased rear threat coverage for the aerial version, so it doesn't really hit the back now, which was pretty bullshit, honestly. Sorry for the language, but that's how I talk. Sorry. So we have neutral rocket lands, decrease aerial drift during the rocket time. Now this is really good. I was kind of thinking it was pretty dumb how whenever Scarlet does neutral rocket lands. So first of all, it comes out pretty fast, right? And then what happens after that is they're able to drift. So it's harder to punish because if you're not in the if you don't have proper spacing, you can't really punish Scarlet neutral rocket lands. So yeah, that's really good. So consistent, good for us, bad for Scarlet. And then we have Scarlet down rocket lands, increased recovery time from 17 to 19. So you can't really spam this on the edge now for people who spam. So Ferris got nerfed a bit, but let's see. Down hammer increased minimum charge time from 8 to 10. So like I was saying, if you increase the minimum charge time, it comes out slower. So it's easier to react now. Neutral hammer increase minimum charge time from 6 to 10. This one is a big change for people who do hammer downlight into neutral sig of Theros. So it won't really change much for diamond people because usually people already know how to frame perfect this downlight into neutral sig, but for people who's learning Theros, you basically have to learn how to do it perfectly in a way because increasing the minimum charge time from 6 to 10 is a big jump. Basically, it means you have to. It's harder to be consistent, so you have to learn how to make it consistent. Since it's harder to do true combo with it now, and then we have the side hammer, updated hitboxing, shifting that coverage upwards. So this is pretty weird, but I didn't really mind it. Decrease time to hit after release from 10 to 7. Nothing. I mean, it hits higher, so guess watch out watch out for those, but won't really do much honestly if you know how to dodge properly. Then you have neutral axe, Terrace neutral axe, updated hitboxing, decreased threat coverage near the user and at the rear of the aerial swing. So this is a huge nerf to Terrace because I think lots of people are complaining playing against Terrace, but when you're on top of him, you by top again I mean when you're literally on him. When you do the neutral axe sig, sometimes it still hits, and that was pretty weird. But now they fixed the hitboxing, to be much better and it follows the animation better. So I guess it's easier now, or like you won't be caught by surprise if you get hit by this one already. And then we have the side axe, decrease minimum charge time from 9 to 7. So it comes out faster now. This one, side axe comes out faster, this makes it easier for terrorists to catch out dodges. Because sometimes when you dodge and then terrorist does a side sig, the reason why, if it was 9, sometimes they're still able to jump from it, but now it's harder to escape if Terrace catches you dodging wrong. So we have touch side sword, decrease minimum charge from 14 to 12, comes out faster, then doesn't really change much. Thor neutral orb, increase minimum charge time from 3 to 5. Okay, so Thor got nerfed heavily, which I mean, it's easier for us to punish him, but yeah, it makes sense that his neutral orb got nerfed. So charge time from 3 to 5, so it comes out slower now. And then we have the increased recovery time from 27 to 9. So once you use your neutral orb, it's gonna be harder to follow up afterwards, especially if you miss. So we have the Thor side hammer, increased minimum charge time from 10 to 12. And then decrease the force from 65 fixed and 48 variable to 65 fixed and 46 variable. So I mean, Thor side hammer comes out slower now, which was his main tool to kill. Sometimes, as a sig at least, this is his main tool to kill on hammer. So decreasing the force and charge time was really sad for Thor, but you know, they had to do what they had to do. It came out too fast, so we have Ulgrim. Neutral rocket lands, decreased set coverage near the user and at the bottom of the swing. Decreased minimum charge time from 12 to 11. So I'll talk about this when I talk about the neutral axe as well. So Ulgrim neutral axe decreased set coverage near the user and at the bottom of the swing. So basically what they did here is, if you're grounded, this doesn't hit anymore. Because before, doing a neutral rocket lance on Ulgrim, it's grounded sometimes. And the neutral axe, it's so weird. Brawl sometimes have weird interactions when it still hits at the bottom sometimes. So yeah, they fixed it. They fixed it at least. So now you don't have to panic jump whenever Ulgrim does it. And now you have the down rocket lands, updated hurt boxing resulting in increased forward property, decreased total recovery time, softened fall speed during recovery time on miss. They basically just buff the rocket lance, so nerfing these two for buffing this one. I guess you'll see more people use down sig of rocket lance now on Ulgrim. I mean, it's pretty good. They updated the forward priority. So yeah. Then we have Sol. Side axe, increased travel speed. Decreased total recovery time on miss from 29 to 26. And decreased total recovery time on miss from 21 to 19 on the side cannon. So they buffed Sol, but I guess that's okay. Doesn't really change much. It's more of they're able to move out of his cannon or axe side sig easier now. Game improvements, nothing really much to talk about here. Bug fixes, Qatar there, never really seen this happen to me before. Especially this one, I actually want to see this. Oh wait, no, not this one. this one fixed an issue with the Qatar's idle animation where sometimes the shoulders would disconnect from the arms. What the hell? Why have I not seen this before? I wish I've seen it. It would have been funny. Then legend notation, and that's it for the patch. So my thoughts on the patch. I really think Brawlhalla is listening to the community, and that's what makes it a really good game, honestly. And with how it's balancing right now, I feel like they're doing it properly, fixing the hitboxes, the threat coverages, because like I said, there's some weird interactions in Brawl that shouldn't happen. And yeah, I really feel that Brawlhalla is going on the right track. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and click the bell if you want to see more content from me. And don't forget to vote if you guys can vote. Free emote and a taunt. So yeah, see you in the next video. Bye.